Kosakura, you made it. It's good to see we didn't scare you off.
It would take a lot more than what I saw yesterday to scare me off. Besides, this isn't my normal thing, but I said I'm in, so I'm in. I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone is already hanging out.
I'm so glad you came back. I know it's a big commitment, just diving right into literature this way.
I don't buy it. Satori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year, or last year either. I don't know what your game is coming here, but if you don't take this seriously, I'm gonna be so mad at you!
Take this club seriously? What's that box you keep in the clubroom's closet, manga boy?
Manga is literature!
Quieted for now, Naruki flops back into his seat.
Oh, don't worry, you guys. Kosakura always goes the whole 9 when she's enjoying herself. She even helps me with stuff at home, even without me asking. Cooking, cleaning my room.
Really now?
That's because your room is so messy it's distracting. Also, you almost set your house on fire once.
That's... I don't remember that.
You two seem awfully close. I'm a little jealous.
Why? You and Kosakura can get awfully close too. How great would that be?
Satori... How great would that be? Except as usual, Satori languishes in his internal sunbeams, completely oblivious to the awkward situation he just put me in.
Oh, Yuki even bought you a present.
Oh, wait, Satori.
I'm glad to see it's not just me, but a present? You brought me a present?
It's not that big a deal, really. Just something
Come on, don't be shy. She'll love it. Who doesn't love presents?
What is it?
Never mind. It's weird now. Satori built it up and made it a thing. It's not meant to be a thing, but now it's a thing, and...
Man, I'm sorry, Yuki. I should have let you get to it in your own time.
Not helping.
Hey, Yuki. Don't worry about it, okay?
Huh?
Yeah. You don't have to give me anything. I wasn't expecting anything, so if you do, I'll be very surprised and probably like it a lot.
But...
And if you don't want it to be a big deal, it won't be. I promise.
Well, okay. Remember, you promised.
He brings out a book from his bag and passes it over to me. The Thief of Always. Clive Barker.
I didn't want you to feel left out. And it's shorter, so it's not overwhelming, if you're not an avid reader just yet. And I thought, you know...
It's great. Thank you. I'll definitely read this.
No pressure. Hit it at your own pace, and be sure to let me know what you thought of it.
With everyone settled in now, I expected Monaco to kick off some scheduled activity for the club. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Satori and Monaco are having an animated chat-off in one corner. Yuki's face is already buried in a book, and Naruki's rummaging around in the closet. It doesn't sound like he's enjoying himself very much.
Ah, come on, man.
Curious what he's up to in there, I step through the half-open door. He's kneeling by one of the shelves, irritably shuffling books around. Hey, you looking for something?
Freaking Monaco!
Oh, I'm pretty sure he's out there at his desk.
No. I mean, freaking Monaco keeps moving my stuff around. What's the point of organizing your collection if someone's just gonna mess it up? Every time!
I move up next to him and take a look. It's definitely a collection. A big one. He grunts as he shoves it across the shelf. Oh, manga.
You read manga, right?
Yes. Sometimes, a little bit. Manga is one of those weird things where you really don't want to say too much until the other person makes it clear where they stand. How did you know, anyway?
I heard you mention it. It must have been sometime yesterday. Also, it's written all over your face.
What's that supposed to mean? I see. I think. There's a lone volume of manga sandwiched between an earth science textbook and a box of colored pencils. Curious, I pick it up. Before I can even look at it, Naruki snatches it from me.
There it is! Gimme!
He turns to a box of manga and slips the volume right into the empty spot between two others.
That's much better. Seeing a box set with a missing book is literally the worst.
I'm right there with you. I take a closer look at the box he's holding. Boba Boys? I've never heard of it, which either means I'm not the target demographic, or it sucks.
Hey, if you're just gonna judge, then you can go do it from out there.
He points past me and back into the classroom. Hey, I didn't even say anything.
It was in the tone of your voice. You shouldn't be like that, you know? I'll tell you one thing, though. And you can take this as a lesson straight from the literature club. Never, ever judge a book by its cover.
Okay, jeez, I got it.
Good. As a matter of fact...
He pulls out the first volume of Boba Boys from the box, then puts the box back on the shelf with the others.
Come on, I'm gonna show you.
I look at the cover. It shows 5 boys in school uniforms standing around a table of snacks, each one raising a differently colored drink as though toasting the audience. Show me. He grabs my hand enthusiastically and drags me from the closet. We walk over to the window where he lets go of me, sits and pats the floor beside him. I sit, but give him a questioning look. Wouldn't chairs be more comfortable?
Chairs wouldn't work. We can't read at the same time if we're sitting in chairs.
Oh, I guess that makes sense. It's easier to sit close together like this.
Wow! And now it's weird.
He scoots away from me. It wasn't weird until you made it weird. I wasn't expecting to sit so close to him either, to be fair. Not that I'm complaining. I open the book and start to read. I'm barely a page in when he inches towards me, closing the space between us while probably hoping I don't notice. I can feel him leaning in to peer over my shoulder, far more eager to read this than I am.
Wow. How long has it been since I've read the beginning?
You never flip back through previous volumes, just to kind of refresh yourself?
Not usually, no. Maybe if I've already finished it and want to read it again. Hey, are you paying attention?
What? Yes. It's still the beginning. Nothing's really happening yet. Besides, I'm talking to you. His cheeks redden, but at least he's at a loss for words for once. So, what can I expect from this? Is there a story coming up at any point?
What? Of course there's a story. You saw how many volumes there are. And you think I like something without a good story? I guess I get what you mean. It's slow, but that's because we're still just getting to know the whole world and characters. Oh, it's so funny! Like, there's this one part where they're all super into this girl at the boba shop, but she thinks Sanji and Heitoku are, gay. Because she sees Heitoku wiping up a spilled drink on the floor near Sanji, and it looks like...
I think I can guess what it looks like.
Right? Anyway, you get to know everyone with stuff like that. But it gets real when we start getting into everyone's backstory. And there's romance, and conflict, and intrigue, and everything.
Everything?
Uh-huh. Everything. You saw how many volumes there are. You really get to forge a connection with these characters. You grow with them and whatever.
You really know what you're talking about. Maybe I underestimated you.
Thanks. Hey, wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Naruki gives me a little shove. Jeez, I just meant I haven't seen you at your full power, obviously.
Good save. Maybe I underestimated you too.
There's a lot about baking in this chapter. Just a guess here, but is there a lot of baking in this entire manga?
Well, I mean, yeah, some.
He hesitates, fidgeting as though not wanting to admit something.
Only with Heitoku.
Is Heitoku your favorite character?
Yeah, why does that matter?
It doesn't. Was just curious. You bake too,
And what of it? It's just a coincidence. It's not like I saw Heitoku's first baking scene when he made brownies for the class fundraiser and took it up right then.
Naruki! It's okay, really. I believe you.
Oh, yeah, okay, good. I'd feel bad for someone that lame.
Yeah, me too. Super lame, huh? We read on for a while longer. I actually make it through 3 chapters before I turn to him again. Are you sure this isn't boring for you?
It's not.
You're just watching me read.
I'm fine with that.
If you say so, I guess I get it. It's fun sharing something you like with someone else. I always get excited when I convince my friends to try things I enjoy.
That's not something
What is it?
I guess I wouldn't really know.
You don't share your manga with your friends?
Like who? Hey, Monaco, you wanna read Boba Boys with me?
What's that, sorry?
Nothing. Not you.
Monoko is clear across the room having a conversation with Satori. He looks at Naruki a moment, then shrugs and turns away again.
Anyway, he's just one. Everyone is just like, wow, you still read that stuff? It makes me want to punch him in the freaking face.
Gross. I've been there. It's hard being into manga, isn't it? At least if you want to share it with anyone.
Uh-huh.
It's hard enough finding people who don't judge, let alone people who will agree to join you with it.
Yeah.
I'm already kind of a loser, so I guess I gravitated toward the other losers over time. But it's probably harder for someone like you.
Yeah, pretty accurate. I mean, I can't even keep it in my own room. I don't know what my mom would do if she found this stuff, but it's safe in the club room, so there's that. Except Monaco's being kind of a jerk about it. I just can't win.
Well, I mean, I'm here reading with you.
Yeah, like that solves any of my problems.
Oh, stop it, you. I'm enjoying myself. You can't tell me you're not also.
Yeah, so? That's enough. Jeez, are you gonna read it or not?
Yeah, fine. I flip the page and read on. Huh?
I forgot that happens.
What? He places a finger on one of the panels.
I connect with Heitoku a whole lot. You really feel bad for him because he's so unlucky all the time. But it really gets bad when they all go. Well, I guess I shouldn't be talking about that yet. Hurry up and finish the chapter.
Naruki's voice sparkles with excitement, matching the enthusiasm on his face. It's a definite contrast to his usual touchy demeanor. But if he's ashamed of sharing his biggest interest with the people he feels closest with, I understand why. It's difficult to express the surge of good feelings you get when connecting with someone like that. And being able to give him that, especially when it's such a rare experience, the thought also makes me smile a little to myself.
Okay, everyone.
Huh?
Poem time.
Ah, jeez. Could your timing be any worse?
I know. I'm sorry. I have to make sure we have enough time to get to everything. You do look pretty cozy over there, though.
Apparently unaware we've been in a secluded area of the classroom and sitting close enough to share a book for the better part of an hour, Naruki flails and squirms away from me. His movements are so sudden and jerky he winds up on his face a good 6 feet away. Poem time. I guess that means we're stopping here for now. I get to my feet and close the book, holding it out towards him as he collects himself and stands up.
You're just giving it back? Don't you want to know what happens?
I mean, yeah, but Monoko just said...
Don't be dumb. Just take it home with you.
Wow. Are you sure? Letting me take him one of his books? Others might not realize it, but I can see this is a big step for him.
Yeah, obviously. It would take forever to finish if you didn't take it home with you. Make sure to finish that one tonight so we can start on the next one tomorrow. And if it gets bent, I'll put you in an oven.
An oven? Wow.
Uh-huh. Kozakura cupcakes. Taste the dummy.
He's not as tough a nut as he thinks he is. I don't mind. I'm probably gonna fall behind on some shows tonight reading this manga, but it's a small price to pay to connect with him and see his smile. I also really don't want to be made into cupcakes. I return to where I put my stuff and carefully slip the volume into my bag.
So, Kozakura,
Yes?
did you remember to write a poem last night?
Yeah. I wrote one. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. My inspiration comes entirely from these boys, but it's not like I can just write about them. They'd see it.
Well, time to dig it out. Come on, all of you, show 'em if you got 'em.
This is so exciting!
Satori and Monoko enthusiastically pull out their poems. Satori's is on a wrinkled sheet of paper I'm pretty sure he tore from a spiral notebook. Conversely, Monoko wrote his in a composition notebook. I can see his pristine handwriting from here. And for the briefest instant, I feel a twinge of jealousy for his pen. Naruki and Yuki follow suit, reaching into their bags. And because I have no choice, out comes mine as well.
Okay, here goes.
I remember how self-conscious Naruki seemed about his poetry yesterday. In fact, I think this was the whole reason Monoko came up with this idea. I even remember telling him I wanted to see his poetry, so it's only fair I share mine with him first.
Oh, okay.
What?
Okay, let's start with the things I don't like.
Okay, lay it on me. I think I can take it.
Good. Okay, well, first of all,
Naruki rereads my poem.
never mind. I don't feel like giving you my opinion.
What? Then what's even the point of sharing poems? I wrote this when I could have been doing other stuff, you know.
Well...
I even told you I wanted to read your poems yesterday, remember? This is exactly what I had in mind. I want you to feel comfortable sharing what you create, like Monoko said. Spit it out!
Well, it would be easier if it were really bad. You were supposed to show me some dumb poem so I could be like, here's how to improve it, look at mine. And you ruined it. I hope you're happy.
All I hear is, Kozakura, your poem's so good and I love everything about it. However did you become such a gifted writer? I wish I could... He pokes me in the ribs. Maybe a little harder than he meant to.
You just... Man, you don't understand anything. I already told you that. You don't gotta go shouting about it to the whole club.
Pretty sure you never actually said any of that. He must really hate me if he's that reluctant to compliment my writing. I'm not sure if I should count it a win or a loss that he liked it. You still have to show me yours.
Fine. But only 'cause Monica will make me if I don't. Falcons can hunt. Tigers can roar. Wolfies can leap. Rhinos can gore. Beavers can build. Boars can thrive. People can strive and end up on their faces!
Wow.
I knew you wouldn't like it.
I like it fine.
You don't have to lie.
I'm not lying. Why are you so convinced I wouldn't like it?
'Cause I don't write like other people. My prose aren't purple. I've been made fun of before 'cause of how I write.
Oh, I'm sorry, Naruki. You shouldn't feel bad for the way you write. Your style is just that. It's how you express yourself, and there shouldn't be a wrong way to do that.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes it can be a little discouraging watching everyone around me do it differently. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hey, did you like the end part? I made it look like it was gonna rhyme.
I noticed that. And instead, it ended on its face. He takes his poem and turns his back to me, though I think I just catch a smile before he vanishes back into the closet.
Hi, Kozakura.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great. Just doing the poem thing. And what's this? Might that be a poem in your hand?
I do say it might be.
Let me see! Hey, this is pretty good. You sure this is your first time?
I think I'd know if I'd written poetry before.
I guess you're right. Well, anyway, I like it. Honestly, I was worried you weren't going to do it seriously. Maybe not even do it at all.
No, I said I would, didn't I?
You said you would, and you did. Hey, you want to see mine now?
Floating light and easy in a hazy so soft and gray, I hear you calling to me, a generation of girls, audible syrup so sweet to the ear. On the clock, you tell me it's time to wake. If it weren't for you, I'd sleep forever, and even though I may want to, I can't be mad at you. G, good morning, baby, baby.
Eh?
Did you forget to do this last night? And then just write about Girls' Generation because that's what your alarm clock played?
Maybe? Okay, yes.
Well, it's definitely you.
You're so nice. I'll do another one that's not rushed. You're gonna love it.
I'll hold you to that.
This is so much fun. Monaco's the best.
I turn and end up face to face with Monaco, composition notebook held down by his side. He smiles at me, and my cheeks instantly heat up. God, get it together, Kozakura.
Hi, Kosakura. Are you enjoying yourself?
Huh? Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it. And listen, since you're new and probably have a fresh perspective on things, don't hesitate to come to me with ideas for how the literature club could be improved, okay?
I'll keep it in mind. I probably won't. I don't want to make waves and I'm already working hard to fit in here.
Great. Would you like to share your poem with me?
I'm nervous. It's embarrassing, but what choice do I have?
Don't worry, we're all a little embarrassed today, but it's a hurdle I hope we make it over. All right. I like it, Kozakura. It's adorable.
Oh, jeez.
No. It reminds me of Naruki, something that he might write, and he's a good writer, so you should take it as a compliment.
If you say so.
Oh, I say so. Tell me, are you familiar with Uncle Shelby?
No, I don't think I have an Uncle Shelby. If I did, it'd be weird if you called him that.
Cute. His name is actually Shel Silverstein.
That name I recognize.
Right. Where the sidewalk ends, a light in the attic, Snowball. He's famous for telling stories, some deep and meaningful, some short and silly, in just a few words. At first glance, a lot of his work might seem simple, even childish. But that conclusion often says more about the reader than him.
Okay, cool. And you're saying Naruki's like that?
I think he certainly could be. He's still maturing as a writer, but that could probably apply to all of us. My point is, his work might be easy to dismiss. Actually reading what he's trying to convey, that's the challenge, so I can see the appeal.
Yeah.
As a writer, you're showing some promise yourself. Don't be afraid to experiment either. You are by no means confined to any one single thing.
That's helpful. I'll definitely experiment. I can't say I'm comfortable with writing yet, but I hope I can get to the point where I am.
Great. Everyone will always have their own biases and preferences, but I'll do what I can to help you find what style fits you the best. So don't force yourself to write a certain way because someone says you should. After all, it's not like you have to impress them or anything.
Uh,
Would you like to read my poem now?
I'd love to.
Hole in wall. It wasn't me. See the direction the spackle protrudes? An adolescent fist thrown beneath the thunder of arguing parents? A vengeful ex with a baseball bat? I'll never know. I wasn't here at the time. I look in to see... No! I've seen too much. Blinded. Like a film reel left out in the sun. But it's too late. My retinas, already scorched with a permanent copy of a meaningless image. It was just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. And she, on the outside, was looking in. Well, don't be shy. What do you think?
There's not a lot of structure to it. It's very freeform, I guess? Sorry, I'm not the best person to ask for feedback.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, I guess this is my own method of experimentation. I think the point was more to perform it out loud. These lines, this spacing, more verbal choices than written ones.
What is it about?
Oh, I'm not sure if I can get into that just now. I guess you can say I discovered something recently. It's had a profound effect on my writing. Well, on everything, really.
An epiphany.
Epiphany, yes. Good word. Anyway, it's a little too deep to get into just now. Maybe after we're all more comfortable with one another. Here's Monaco's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when writing, you might fixate too much on one single element. Don't. If it isn't perfect, come back to it later. That's what drafts are for. Think of it. Your pen just idling there while you sweat this one single thing. Odds are, you're not going to get this one single thing perfect, and nothing else progresses either. Then you just end up with a dark puddle of ink on the page. And who wants to read that? Move your hand and move forward. That's my advice for today. Thanks for listening.
That leaves Yuki. He's standing off to one side, cup of tea in hand and what's probably his poem lying on the desk beside him.
Hey, Kozakura.
Hi. You, wanna...
Oh, right. Yeah. I guess that's what we're all doing now.
Part of me wants to kill Monoko for this. But I said I'm in, so I'm in. I hand Yuki my poem. He stares at it for a long time. More than enough time for him to finish reading.
Right. Sorry. I read in my head and began talking in my head.
I can't hear inside your head.
I guess not. So, this is your first time writing?
It is.
I can tell.
Ouch.
Not like that. Not precisely, at any rate. You have all the time in the world to improve. If you like, I would love to offer you some advice.
Like what?
It is... I'm sorry. How to word it. What we see here is a framework, a full skeleton woefully lacking in anything meaty and substantive. It is the difference between once upon a time there was a princess who lived in a castle, and proud and ethereal Verodonime stood on the balcony overlooking her vast domain, sprawling as it did neath a sky that was old before our age was even conceived of. Do you see?
I don't. I really don't. Yeah, I think so. Thanks. It is interesting to see Yuki in his element. He is obviously more comfortable with this than he seemed in casual conversation. On the other hand, I'm feeling a little judged here. He probably doesn't mean anything by it, but I find myself ready to read his poem and be done with it.
And of course, this is not something you can be faulted for. It's akin to walking for the first time. There will be a few missteps and a fall or two. Maybe a lot of them on the way to really getting comfortable with it. Actually, that's a good metaphor. When you first learn to walk, there's so much to it, isn't there? Balance, what to do with your hands, your feet. You have to look where you're going. Think of riding the same way. We're taking several different skills and not only perfecting them individually, but getting them to a point where they fit seamlessly together to properly convey what's inside. As with walking, this first effort is clumsy and unrefined. Steps are short and shuffling, completely void of technique. But just as you can now run, I hold faith that one day your pin
He's
shall count
still
among the mightiest.
going.
These things will come with practice and experimentation, as well as following the examples and advice of others, which is why we're all here. I sense in your work something special, something with the potential to blossom beautifully. There is room for improvement, a lot of it, but there is also time.
Okay. Great, thanks. Well, do you mind if I read your poem now?
Oh, be my guest. Tears in the night, abject and utter black, seeping, creeping in. Fullerton molasses through a tiny crack in the old wooden barrel sky. The murk devours the feeble last gasps and final pleas of dusk. How in that ebon void might I find you? You are a needle of antidote in the haystack of a roadside ditch, the crash site where did all die the sweetness that came before. My fingers reach and grasp. Alas, all I find is thorns and broken glass.
This explains everything. His poem and mine are night and day. Literally, if you take the subject matter into account. The things he said still sting a little, but I feel a little better having read his. It's not better than mine. Impressive.
Thank you.
I have to ask, are you sad, Yuki? Like, sad enough to have to talk to someone?
Oh, no, nothing like that.
I had to check. This is not a happy poem. It's lost, resigned.
Imagine something that made you really happy in the past, only it collapsed for one reason or another. A relationship, a certain plan or dream, anything.
Mm-hmm.
I think each time we sift through the pieces of something that meant a lot to us before, we end up doing more harm than good. That's what I was trying to get across. You mourn for something past, and you claw and claw to salvage what you can, but only end up bleeding everywhere.
That's kind of bleak. I can see it, though.
Glad to hear that.
That was intense. I know everyone's just trying to help, but it really felt like a marathon of people judging my writing ability. All of them are better than me, and I think they know it. But I guess I did it to myself, agreeing to join. After all that, it's time to step out into the hall for a drink of water. When I return, I see Satori and Monoko chatting away in one corner. My eyes land on Naruki and Yuki across the room, gingerly exchanging sheets of paper. Their expressions change as they read. Naruki scowls. Yuki rolls his eyes.
What am I eating?
I'm sorry, did you say something?
No, nothing.
Naruki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with a quick little flick of the wrist.
It's deep, I guess.
Thanks. Yours is cute.
Cute? Did you even read it? It's about failure. And it ends with a face plant.
Right, no, I knew that. I mean, you know, just the language, your wording. I'm trying to say something nice.
Yeah? 'Cause you're failing. You're on your face.
Well, I have some ideas for how you can
Don't care. If I wanted ideas, I'd ask someone who liked it, like Kozakura or Satori. But I got some ideas for you. To start with, try...
Yeah. Thanks, but no thanks. I've worked really hard on defining what works and doesn't work for me as a writer. I don't expect to change it at any time soon, unless I find something inspiring, which I haven't. And Kozakura liked my poem too. She even said it impressed her.
Naruki is the shorter one of the two, but has no problem getting in Yuki's face. You could not have told me a fight would break out of my first meeting with the freaking literature club.
That's what this is about, isn't it? You're just flexing 'cause Kazakura's here.
What? That's not even what I... Why would you say that?
Yuki squares his shoulders and brings his hands up. I hate everything that's happening right now.
Maybe you're scared because she likes my poem and values my advice more.
How do you even know that? Are you seriously that full of yourself?
You'd know it if I was full of myself. I'd bake cupcakes that look like cats. I'd look and behave like a child and write rhyming couplets about raccoons eating pizza. I'd do everything cute.
You did not just say that to me.
Satori edges timidly toward the conflict as it escalates. Monoko stands in place, looking extremely uncomfortable.
Hey, you guys? How about we don't do...
And you know what? I'm not the one who's been pitching a tent since the first day Kazakura got here.
Naruki!
Naruki, that's a little...
This
doesn't involve
you.
Hey, is everyone okay?
Because I was comfortable in the thought that at least things couldn't get any worse, the universe decides to gift me with a fresh development. Both of them turn to stare directly at me as though just remembering I'm standing here.
Sakura, he's out of his mind. I don't know what he's talking about.
He started it. Tell him you like my poem better. Remember the trick at the end?
Sakura explained to him there's nothing wrong with...
Two pairs of eyes are burning into me, each demanding something. I want to cry, I want to melt, I want to do something to shift the focus from me. I didn't ask for this, and yet, here we are.
Tell him to get over himself and acknowledge that simple writing is more effective. Who wants to dig for the meaning of a poem when they could just read another one that uses plain and simple language? What even is fulgent?
Wait a minute, there's obviously value in not only all the different expressive words in our language, but also the literary devices like metaphor and symbolism. Avoiding them is severely limiting and wasteful. Please explain this to him, Kozakura.
Well,
Well?
Oh, why in the world are they asking me? They both critiqued my poem just a few minutes ago and suddenly I have all the answers? Still, whoever I agree with might look at me differently afterwards. So, Yuki, you're obviously very talented.
Well,
But Naruki has a point. I think that... Quick, how do I reinforce this without just repeating Naruki from earlier? I think that getting across thoughts with weight and substance with fewer words can be impressive too. It leaves certain things to the imagination, leaving you to draw your own conclusions. And Naruki's poem captured that beautifully.
Yeah? Yeah, it did, didn't it? Ha!
I didn't mean that.
Naruki, come on.
Eh? Me? But he was being so freaking mean to me.
Stop, okay? It's like we all talked about yesterday. Writing is a really personal thing. Sharing it can be hard. We've definitely learned that, if nothing else. Even the smallest criticism can be taken the wrong way. I glance back over my shoulder. Monoko is looking bewildered. Satori is nodding in agreement with me. You're a great writer, Naruki. You don't need to feel threatened. Naruki's face briefly registers surprise, and then a flash of utter joy and adulation. Before the expression can get too comfortable, though, he checks it with a dialed-back version of his typical scowl.
Thank you for noticing.
Yuki? Yuki looks at me dejectedly. He seems so wounded, I can't help but feel sorry for him. I'm sure Naruki was just hurt, and didn't mean everything he said, so you don't need to feel threatened either.
Hey, you don't need to apologize for me.
Naruki takes a breath and steps toward Yuki.
Hey, you know the stuff. What I said when everyone stopped staring at me!
Monoko and Satori look away.
The thing that I said about your bullets or whatever, okay? I didn't mean it.
Yeah, you're naturally gifted, Yuki.
Oh god, Satori.
What? I'm just helping make peace.
Thank you. I'll go make some tea.
With Naruki back in the closet, Yuki over by the section of counter that holds his tea set, and Satori scribbling in his spiral notebook, the club is more or less normal again. I go over to Monoko at the large desk in the front of the room, since he's the only one with his attention not fully focused on something.
So, all in all, it wasn't a bad idea to share poems, was it?
Bad? Monoko, I can't imagine how it could have gone any better.
All right. You know, that was an excellent point you made about how personal writing can be. It was very insightful.
Yeah, I guess it just occurred to me.
It actually got loud in here for a minute. An interesting break from the lazing around we've been getting used to.
So, basically my joining ruined the atmosphere, just like Naruki said yesterday.
Not at all. Hey, there's still a little bit of time before we go home. Outside of normal hanging out, we actually do literature-related stuff in here on rare occasions. Why don't you pick up a book, or do some more writing? That's what the club's for, after all.
A few desks down, Satori sets down his pen and smiles over at us.
I disagree, Monoko.
Huh?
The most important part of the club isn't literature. It's having fun!
Of course. The vice president with the wisdom of ages.
That's me!
Monaco's right. I can't really just do nothing now that I'm a part of the club. I take out a piece of paper and start thinking about the inspiration for my next poem. My fellow club members.
Okay, everyone. It's almost time for us to get out of here. What did we all think of sharing poems? And be honest, I'm not taking shyness from anyone after what I saw today.
It was a lot of fun.
It was not what I expected, but it was worth it.
It was okay, I guess. Mostly.
Yeah, I'd say the same. It was pretty special sharing with everyone and being shared with in return.
Great. Then tomorrow, we do it again. Maybe we'll all learn from each other, making our poems that much better.
I did learn a little more about the types of poem everyone likes. Maybe with that knowledge and a little luck, I could write something up to get the attention of one of them. Yeah, that sounds like a plan. I nod to myself with newfound determination.
Come on, Kozakura, let's walk home together.
Hey,
Yeah?
about earlier, Naruki and Yuki, is that, normal?
It's really not. I don't know what made today so different. They're obviously nothing alike, but I've never seen them get quiet like that before. You don't hate them or anything, do you?
What? No. I just wanted your opinion, that's all.
Okay, yeah. They're just like the preferred writing styles. Equally good, but very different. It's why I like them so much.
I see.
I've really missed this. I'm thrilled that you decided to join my club and that we get to spend more time together. But I think seeing you making friends with everyone makes me the happiest.
Aww, Satori.
And I think everyone really likes you.
My face heats up a little. Sweet and clueless Satori. He still doesn't quite get it. It's great to make new friends, but does it really have to stop there? Well, that was fun. check out day 3 of the Naruki route to see what comes next, Kay? We'll see you there!